and that's going to push her beyond her potential, in my opinion, and that's a surefire indication, just as Sasha winning the NXT Women's title back in NXT Rival, of her getting a call-up. Summer Rae is in line for a push because of this role in the Marine Force. She's doing WWE Films an incredible amount of justice, especially in the absence of AJ and the upcoming absence and departure of both the Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie, going south and heading home for various reasons. One's got deals with movies sitting on the table. The other wants to have a child with Daniel Bryan. I believe that's Brie Bella, who wants to have one, so she's got a lot going on in her personal life, and I'm expecting Summer Rae to really run with the ball, that the Bella Twins and AJ will drop in the next couple of weeks to utilize her to her fullest potential. That's what I'm hoping WWE Creative will do, and I'm hoping somewhere in there Sasha Banks' debut will happen. Maybe she'll jump on Summer Rae and attack her, blindside her from behind, and make her debut by targeting Summer Rae first, because Summer Rae will get all the attention as a fan favorite. Big move. Really proud of how they've turned Summer Rae into a fan favorite after being the Fandango girl with Fandango for forever. Rosa Mendez replacing Summer Rae very effectively as the Fandango girl for the new and improved Fandango, which they're still underutilizing even though he's new and improved. But I think that Summer Rae had more potential than just being a Fandango girl and a dance partner for a wrestler, and we're finally seeing that potential coming through. So hopefully somewhere Sasha Banks' debut will get in there. And if you haven't seen Sasha wrestle, it's a good exemplification of why she should be called up to the Divas division. There's a lot of footage of her on YouTube. That's where I go to watch a lot of Sasha Banks' material, matches, promos, a lot of stuff about Sasha Banks, especially on her Facebook page. Her official Facebook page has thousands of subscribers. She has a lot of friends on there, and she's always posting videos, promos, photos, updates in the way of status updates on Facebook, always tweeting on Twitter. Really appreciate the amount of content that Sasha Banks throws at us, sometimes more weirder than other times, but I really do appreciate the informative loop she keeps us in with everything happening in the Sasha Banks world of professional wrestling. She is one of the more unpredictable characters that you will find on NXT, I find, especially when it comes to up-and-coming divas. If AJ was once referred to as an unpredictable character by myself and countless others who were sort of analyzing AJ's career and performance level, which I was doing for the better part of the last 2.5 years, and you can refer to someone like AJ and get away with it as an unpredictable character, you can easily do the same thing with Sasha Banks, with no disrespect or no exceptions being thrown away of Miss Banks. She has done an incredible amount. She would be a phenomenal wrestler in either major promotion when you talk about TNA or ROH, with promotions outside of professional wrestling, even on the indie circuit, but she has definitely paid her dues and doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. I also wrote a column for In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke talking about the future of Sasha Banks. I wrote several paragraphs on it. In one of the paragraphs, I alluded how to I was hoping she was going to be there for the long haul. You can't have Sasha Banks hanging around for 4 or 5 years and then she's a victim of being released. She has to be there for at least 8 to 9 years. You can easily get 10 years out of Sasha Banks. That's the deal. That's the underlying issue I've always had with divas like Sasha Banks. You can utilize these divas to their fullest potential as much as you want, but you can never hang on to them, and that's WWE's major issue with divas wrestling. They can never hold on to a diva that has so much potential going with their character, and I think Sasha Banks has more than enough potential to go around. Definitely that could be shared in the Divas division, but as the boss, I guess she's not going to be sharing any of that potential with anyone. And I also see her getting a lot of experience, like she got from Dusty Rhodes, and sort of sharing that experience in years to come with some of the up-and-coming divas that will come after Sasha Banks. I see her eventually getting into a position of a Lita or a Trish Stratus, and it's very rarely you have ever heard me say things like this about Sasha Banks, only because I debuted with Sasha Banks sort of as a critic towards everything she was doing. Referring to herself as the boss was a terminology that I think only a few divas of the past and present should be affiliated with. I didn't think Sasha Banks should have been able to get away with calling herself the boss, because I still think at that point she had a lot to prove as a developmental diva and an NXT diva, but she has definitely proven a lot over the last, I'd say, better part of the last 5.5 through 6 months, and because she has proven a lot of critics wrong, including myself, I will go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt. As our headline reads in the graphic for the Sasha Banks future review in WWE, you can bank on Sasha, because that's pretty much what you can do. You can pretty much guarantee yourself you're going to see a probable future coming out of Sasha Banks, as you will. The likes of Summer Rae, Bayley, and eventually other divas who will come over, like Alexis Bliss, who is someone else that I'm going to be doing a video blog on in the coming weeks on our YouTube channel. Big fan of Alexis Bliss. She would probably be my second choice, as opposed to someone like Summer Rae, either second or third choice when it comes to choosing between, say, Sasha Banks, Summer Rae, and a third party being Alexis Bliss. Alexis Bliss kind of puts me in mind of a female Ultimo Dragon or a female Rey Mysterio because of how quick she is in the ring. If there ever was a diva to replace AJ's quickness in the ring, the old phrase, quicker than the hiccup in professional wrestling, if you would, it's got to be Alexa Bliss. Her in-ring style is unparalleled to any diva that I've ever seen. That's why I'm pretty much a big fan of Alexis Bliss, and I've been supporting Alexis in written columns, and I've been supporting her somewhat in video blogs. I haven't devoted a video blog pretty much the same regard to Sasha for someone like Alexis Bliss, but I will be in the coming weeks as we pick up conversation on the Divas division and the NXT Women's division, which is always delivering when the Divas division doesn't come through. That's why I think NXT should be having more pay-per-views, should be having more exclusive specials on the WWE Network where Sasha won the NXT Women's Championship. I saw a photo ops of that posted all over Sasha's Facebook. She was obviously very thrilled and very honored to be NXT Women's Champion for the first time in her career after working years to get to that point, that pivotal point in her career. If there ever was a pivotal moment in her career, that pivotal point and critical point was seen at NXT Rival, which means they need to have more specials on the WWE Network, and they need to have more moments where the NXT Women's Division and the NXT brand in general is just put on display more, because I think it does a phenomenal amount of justice to a brand that is never given enough credit, especially when you're producing names like the Ascension and Neville out of there. That says a lot about potential when it comes to future stars of the WWE, and it's been about creating stars of the future for the better part of the last decade, has it not? In the words of John Cena and Randy Orton, who you can't always rely on. John Cena was always a big fan of Adrian Neville, now known as Neville, to the universe, and obviously his preaching about Neville is finally following through with. He's a big fan favorite and a potential future WWE champion, in my opinion, in the absence of John Cena, which has been the talk of the wrestling world for forever. Another video blog, by the way, is coming up on the future of John Cena and how I believe his time is up in professional wrestling, and we're getting closer to that pivotal moment when John Cena will step down and announce it after previously doing it off-air in WWE as U.S. champion. There are rumors about the Rusev-John Cena match at Extreme Rules being John Cena's final match before his departure, one of the biggest and probably the biggest of the year, which will put WWE at a pivotal point and a proverbial position, if you would, a compromised position if he does depart. So there are a lot of superstars that need to be created and a lot of divas that need to be created in the absence of people like AJ and John Cena, who were carrying WWE proverbially on their shoulders pretty much for the better part of the last 5 years. And that's just unfortunate when you have so many talent out there, so much talent that has so much potential, and Sasha Banks being one of them. And a quick reference for you would be matches that Sasha Banks has had with the likes of Summer Rae, with the likes of Charlotte, with the likes of Bayley. She has really been put over by these wrestlers who have been jobbing out somewhat, but also providing competition more times than enough for Sasha Banks, which she's been able to overcome. She's defeated NXT champions before, and she has earned the right to call herself now NXT Women's Champion. As I said earlier, really respected the photos that were being thrown up on Sasha's Facebook and on her Twitter, which I did see a lot of content, and sometimes we have weirder tweets from her than more than enough. But at least she's giving us a glimpse into what her mind is actually processing day in and day out. I actually responded to one of Sasha's comments on her Facebook page, and I said, you know, I would have loved to have had a few minutes inside your mind just to see what goes through it. Didn't get a response from it, but I would like to have a few minutes to get inside the mind of Sasha Banks, because she seems to have one of the more creative and sometimes more unpredictable minds of the divas and women's divisions of WWE and NXT, which is why I think she is a surefire talent that you have to pay attention to, and I'm hoping more people will jump on the proverbial Sasha Banks fan wagon in the coming weeks, because she has a probable future in professional wrestling. Now, for the 5-star scale perspective rating, what would I rate Sasha's debut in WWE? Easy, 3 to 5. I won't go all the way and go 4 to 5 or 5 to 5, which would be a full star rating on a scale perspective on Sasha Banks, because I still think she has a long way to go. But if you give her time and you give her the benefit of the doubt, which I am choosing to do both from both perspectives as a radio show host and wrestling journalist for the better part of the last 16 years, that's a decade and a half over that point. If you go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt, there is a probable future awaiting us to be witnessed by wrestling fans and even Sasha Banks herself, and I think that the best years of her career is yet to be witnessed by herself and all of her wrestling fans, which are by the millions. She's one of the more followed divas and talked about divas throughout social media, especially when it comes to Twitter, with millions of fans following her conversation, and just as many million on her Facebook page. It's all happening at Sasha Banks. Sometimes I do regret subscribing to her Facebook page, and I do regret following her on Twitter, but how can you not? I've been meaning to talk about Sasha Banks for a while, and I want to issue an apology to the Sasha Banks fans out there. It seems like all the videos that I've been posting on divas have either been about AJ, the Bella Twins, Paige, Charlotte. It's always been about other divas other than Sasha Banks. And I will openly admit to you over this microphone on this show, as I have a couple of minutes that I can throw out there, my opinion on Sasha Banks, as I take a couple of minutes here to do it. The reason why I haven't been talking about Sasha Banks as much as, say, an AJ or a Bella Twin is because Sasha Banks didn't impress me 5 months ago. Now, the difference between then now and 5 months ago then is Sasha Banks has found time to impress me. I've said to Sasha, time and time again in posts on her Facebook page, you have to make time to impress me, and then I will talk about you in video blogs. And as I take a couple of minutes to do it here now in the closing moments of our show, I do want to apologize to Sasha Banks because now I have more of a reason than I ever did before to be talking about Sasha Banks in a more prominent way, and I'm hoping to continue to do it over the next, I'd say, 6-month period. Hopefully in 6 months' time she'll be on WWE and she will have won at least a first Divas Championship. And that's going to be when we're going to see Sasha Banks utilized to her fullest potential, and we're going to see the best of her character shine through in promos and wrestling matches and programs. She will work with some of the divas of the Divas division, which is always evolving, which I can't appreciate enough. The ever-evolving Divas division is something that never gets enough attention, and I think that's a very critical issue in professional wrestling, and that's why I post hundreds of blogs on divas and situations involving the Divas division, these predicaments the division finds itself within, and why the NXT Women's division should be capitalizing on this and really picking up the slack where the Divas division is not really giving us what we want as wrestling fans. More times than enough, radio shows, and especially columnists out there who love to write weekly columns, will find time to criticize something like the Divas division or a particular diva like Sasha Banks. And my opinion of that is you have no lives. You have no time to benefit anything else, only just criticizing someone who has a lot of potential. And I believe Sasha has a lot of potential, which is why she is my next prediction outside of an AJ or a Summer Rae to make it in the Divas division and leave her mark and impression on the Divas division, which will be an everlasting one. Sasha Banks is my prediction to be the next best diva in the WWE and a future Divas champion, and you can quote me on that. If you ever share this video on different wrestling news websites, entertainment news websites that blog my videos, I know my videos are shared a lot more than enough times. So if you ever share this video on your site, on your wrestling news page,